I also want to take this opportunity to condole the families of those young boys. And we want to just remind Mr. Ruto about what he said when there were those Yala liver bodies, when we were campaigning. I remember very well he shouted loudly that what we saw in Yala liver will never be seen again in this country. What we are now seeing is worse than what had even happened that time. These are young people who only did something that is normal to young people, associating themselves with social media, which is not a big crime. But what we are wondering is, how inhuman are you, Mr. Ruto? Please. We know you are a parent, but can you imagine what you are doing to other parents? What we are asking you is what exactly Mr. Justin Muturi asked you yesterday. Please stop these abductions and killing youths in this country. You should apologize, and you should not even be associated with any peace process in DRC or even Haiti, because what is happening here is almost even more than what is happening there. Tafadhali, we are very ashamed to have been involved in campaigning for you to be elected as a president because of what is happening. Everybody who voted for you is not sleeping in peace because of remembering that they brought somebody who is inhuman, who is making other families to cry day and night. And what I want to say, lastly, Bwana Ruto, tafadhali, mambo ya mauaji, mtu yote ashafanya vile wewe umefanya. Actually you should be packing, kwa sababu watu wote wanaona 2027 ikiwa mbali sana, ni wakupeleke nyumbani. Just be assured that you have booked your ticket to going back to Sugoi because of what you are doing with your own people. Na everybody knows hii mambo yote is action from State House. Hakuna mtu ajui na hakuna mtu mnaweza ndanganya. Watu wote wananchi wanajua hii mambo inakuwa sanctioned from State House. Hao watu wanasema ati hawajui askari, ni kweli. Askari wanajua lakini hawezi ongea. Lakini behind the back wanasema hiyo kundi ambayo inaua watu wanajua directions wanapata kutoka State House. Watu wanajua, sio hakuna wajinga hapa Kenya. Watu wanajua what is exactly happening. Na wewe tunataka kukwambia mambo tena hapa kwa mochari, tunasikia wengine wanafurugwa ati kwa sababu wameoneshana mili hapa. Tunataka kukwambia Sakaja, hii mochari ya Nairobi County, na hapa hakutakiwi kuwa ukora hata kidogo, because we are suspecting mili inafichwa hapa mpaka maneno ikichacha kotini inatokea tena, because as it is mili inakuwa discovered hapa kwa mochari namna gani, lazima ni kufika inafichwa. Kwa hivyo city county should not associate themselves with the long doings of the police ambayo wanaua watu.
Thank you. One thing, mwishowe hapa pametaja mambo ya DRC na hata Haiti. I want the country to know that had William Ruto allowed Uhuru Kenyatta to continue with the mission in Eastern DRC, the hostilities we are seeing over Ngoma and Eastern DRC would perhaps not even have happened. But because of bad faith, and it will be recalled that DRC joined the East African community, and the main reason for that integration, including Somalia thereafter, was to make sure there is peace in the region and therefore development. The process had to be moved to Angola What William Ruto did was to ensure that Uhuru Kenyatta was not facilitated because he was a chief mediator. It was not facilitated, so the whole thing deteriorated and taken over by SADC and moved to Angola. This is some of the truth. So don't even assume that William Ruto can go to Kinshasa. He can't. Our own embassy was touched. This is not the kind of international relations we expect to see in our country. Kenya has been respected internationally until now. Even that virtual meeting they wanted to hold, I'm sure they didn't, because Felix Tshisekedi, whom I personally know, said no. The first handshake ya Raila na Uhuru enabled me to go and negotiate between President Kabila and President Tshisekedi. And they formed a coalition. And the DRC eventually joined the community. Now even the entire East African community is at the verge of collapse. So this is how bad this whole thing is. Of course, we took our position as opposition. We are against that deployment of Kenyans, as Eugene is saying, 12,000 kilometers away in Haiti to stop gangsters. And you allow your own gangsters to kill your own people. As I said earlier, this will not go away. I propose that the Law Society of Kenya takes the lead in the formation of this commission of inquiry. Because you can't leave it to William Ruto, because he's an interested party. We thank you.
Yes.